projectile launched from Lebanon has killed at least one person in northern Israel, marking another deadly escalation in cross-border violence. Video footage captured dramatic scenes of flames and thick black smoke rising from the impact site in the northern region. The attack represents a significant intensification of tensions along the volatile Israel-Lebanon border, where exchanges of fire have become increasingly frequent in recent months. Israeli emergency services responded immediately to the scene, though the full extent of casualties and damage remains under assessment. The projectile strike comes amid heightened regional tensions and ongoing conflicts that have drawn multiple actors across the Middle East into confrontation. Lebanese authorities have not yet claimed responsibility for the attack, and it remains unclear which group or faction was behind the deadly strike. This incident threatens to further destabilize an already fragile situation along one of the region's most sensitive borders, potentially triggering broader military responses that could escalate beyond the immediate area. British health officials have issued new guidelines limiting screen time for children under 5 to just 1 hour per day, citing growing concerns about digital device impact on early childhood development. The comprehensive government advice specifically warns parents against exposing young children to fast-paced content and strongly encourages shared viewing experiences rather than solitary screen time. These recommendations come as pediatric experts increasingly link excessive early screen exposure to attention difficulties, sleep disruption, and delayed social development in preschool-aged children. The guidance emphasizes that when screens are used, parents should actively engage with their children during viewing, creating interactive learning opportunities rather than passive consumption. Health authorities across multiple countries have been grappling with similar concerns as digital device usage among very young children has skyrocketed in recent years. The new recommendations represent the government's most specific intervention, yet in addressing what many child development specialists consider a growing public health concern. Parents are now being urged to prioritize physical play, reading, and direct social interaction over digital entertainment for their youngest children. A federal judge has temporarily blocked the Trump administration's attempt to designate artificial intelligence company Anthropic as a national security threat, ruling the action constitutes unconstitutional retaliation. The court order immediately prevents the government from officially labeling Anthropic a supply chain risk, which would have severely restricted the company's operations and government contracts. Judges' rulings specifically cited First Amendment violations, suggesting the administration's actions were politically motivated rather than based on legitimate security concerns. Anthropic, known for developing advanced AI systems and chatbots, had challenged the designation as an unprecedented attack on free speech and technological innovation. The temporary injunction provides crucial breathing room for the AI company, while broader constitutional questions about government power over tech companies work through the courts. This case represents a significant test of how far federal authorities can go in restricting technology companies based on claimed national security risks. The ruling could set important precedents for other tech firms facing similar government designations and highlights growing tensions between regulatory oversight and constitutional protections in the rapidly evolving artificial intelligence sector. President Trump has postponed planned attacks on Iran's energy infrastructure by 10 days, offering what he calls a final chance for diplomatic resolution as Iranian missiles and drones struck targets across Kuwait, UAE, Saudi Arabia, and Jordan. The unexpected delay comes amid the most serious military confrontation between Iran and Gulf allies in decades, with Iranian forces demonstrating their capability to strike multiple nations simultaneously. Trump's decision to pause the energy sector offensive suggests behind-the-scenes diplomatic efforts may be gaining traction, though he emphasized this represents Iran's last opportunity to negotiate before facing devastating economic consequences. The Iranian missile barrage targeted strategic facilities across 4 nations, marking an unprecedented escalation that has sent global oil markets into turmoil and prompted emergency sessions at the United Nations Security Council. Gulf Cooperation Council members are coordinating their response while maintaining defensive postures against further Iranian attacks. The 10-day window creates a narrow diplomatic opening that regional leaders and international mediators are desperately trying to exploit before military actions resume. This pause may represent the final opportunity to prevent a broader regional war that could reshape Middle Eastern geopolitics. Costa Rica has become the latest Central American nation to sign a controversial third-country deportation agreement with the Trump administration, agreeing to accept 25 deportees per week under the expanding immigration enforcement program. The agreement allows the United States to send asylum seekers and migrants to Costa Rica regardless of their country of origin, significantly expanding America's capacity to process immigration cases outside its borders. Costa Rican officials defended the deal as a humanitarian gesture while acknowledging the substantial financial compensation they will receive from Washington to support the relocated individuals. This marks the fourth such agreement Trump has secured in Central America, creating a network of partner nations willing to house migrants while their cases are processed or appeals are exhausted. Human rights organizations have condemned these arrangements as violations of international refugee law, arguing they place vulnerable populations in potentially dangerous situations far from legal support systems. The weekly quota system represents a systematic approach to reshaping regional migration patterns and could influence other Latin American nations considering similar partnerships. Costa Rica's decision signals the growing effectiveness of Trump's economic incentives in securing international cooperation on his immigration priorities.